بسرعة.
إمام يدير إن شاء الله. He wants to do it for you. Walaikum Assalam, brother. How are you, mashallah? Yeah, very much. You can be in the back row, so this is the Assalamu alaikum. You could be in the back or something. Yeah. No. Assalamu alaikum. Zafar.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Let's do the second.
الله أكبر الله أكبر. الله أكبر. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة. حي على الفلاح. حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر الله أكبر. لا إله إلا الله.
الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. أما بعد فإن خير الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. من يطع الله ورسوله فقد رشد ومن يعص الله ورسوله فإنه لا يضر إلا نفسه. أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وقضى ربك ألا تعبدوا إلا إياه وبالوالدين إحسانا إما يبلغن عندك الكبر أحدهما أو كلاهما فلا تقل لهما أف ولا تنهرهما وقل لهما قولا كريما. صدق الله العظيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. This is ayah number 23 of Isra, which I recited. And the translation of this ayah is something like this. And your Rabb has decreed that you not worship except Him, and to parents good treatment, whether one or both of them reach old age while with you. Say not to them so much as oof, and do not repel them, but speak to them a noble word. This is one of the few places in the Quran where the right of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioned, is along with the right of the parents. The ruling is assured وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ, basically that you do not do the shirk. And then the vow in between وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ and the right of Allah. So the right of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with the right of parents is to put it together And we have few places in the Quran, 4 or 5, where we have similar situation. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is putting the right of the parents in such a high place, but again and again, just to tell us, to remind us the importance of that. Because the important things are repeated in the Quran multiple times. We look at the story from the Talmud about Musa alayhi salam. And Musa alayhi salam asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who will be my companion in the Jannah? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned the person who is going to you, who is going to see next. And the person he saw was, unknown to him, does not look like a very pious person, does not have anything which can put him as his, neighbor in the Jannah. So the Musa alayhi salam asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, oh Allah, I don't know this person, and he doesn't seem to be a person in that sense who has done anything significant, because I don't know him. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala responded with that. He said that he is used to serve his mother all night. And his mother was very happy with him. And whenever the mother, used to give the dua after he used to serve her, that, oh Allah, please make my son the companion of Musa alayhi salam in the Jannah. So Allah has accepted that dua from her. And that's the reason this person will be your companion. So here's the story, we have to see. And we have the story of Uwais Qarni, famous. He was not a companion. Still, he's a radiallahu anhu. We still say it to him. Because although he has never met Rasulullah, he accepted Islam. He was from Yemen. He accepted Islam, but never met Rasulullah. And Rasulullah told, this is the hadith in Muslim, told Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu, that there is a person will come from Yemen, and from the place, the Qaran was a village probably. That's why it was called Uwais Qarni, whose name was Uwais ibn Amr. And when you see him, when you meet him, he will have a small spot on his body, because he had leprosy, and his body had a regular color to the skin, except for one spot in the body. And his mother will be alive. When you see him, when you meet him, ask him to do dua for you for forgiveness from Allah. Now, Hazrat Umar, he is one of the closest companions of the Prophet Muhammad. Allah has already pleased with him. And Rasulullah is telling Umar radiallahu anhu to do this. Ask that person to do the dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness. So he did. Every time there was people who used to come from Yemen when he became Khalifa, Rasulullah passed away, and after Abu became the Khalifa, and he used to meet the groups which used to come from Yemen, and he used to ask them, is anyone from the Qarn? Nobody is. Finally, in one of the group, the person, he said, yes, there is a person from that village. And he asks, his name is Uwais. And where is he? So they told him this the person. And he's a poor person, he doesn't have, any wealth or anything. And he said, bring it to me, I have to talk to him. Then he started, talking to him and asking him the questions about that spot and all that. And he was told about that yes, I have that spot and everything. And then Uwais asked him, why you are asking all those questions? This is what Prophet told me, to ask you for make a dua for me, for the forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What you did, that you get such a status, you're making dua for me. So he said, I just used to take care of my mother. And that is the reason I never met Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because I have to take care of. A companion, a person came from Yemen, another hadith, and he came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to accept Islam and to give the bayah and to fight to the go. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked about his parents, and he said, yeah, my parents at home, and my mother was crying when I was coming in. She was very unhappy. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, so why you came? He said, I want to get the Jannah. I want to work with you. I want to fight with you. He said, you cannot get the Jannah if your mother is not pleased with you. You go back. Make her laugh. Make her pleased with you. And Hadith says, if your parents are pleased with you, Allah is pleased with you. If your parents are displeased with you, Allah will be displeased with you. And we should be very careful, the ayah which I just recited, وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. And treat the parents with ihsan. And ihsan, as defined by our scholars, is not just any treatment, something you do beyond you can do. And you don't expect anything in return. So you serve more than what you can, and you still don't expect anything in back. This is what ihsan is in Islam. And then you don't eat. Uf is not a word in any language. Uf is an expression. It is a action. It is what you show your irritation. So what we have to understand is that we cannot even if we are irritated, we cannot show that expression oof to our parents. That careful I have to stay. Because if I want to go to the Jannah, to paradise, that's the route I have to take. Abdullah bin Zubayr, he was, when his father died, he was crying. And he said, I'm not crying because my father has died, I'm crying because the road to Jannah is gone from me. This was the truth that I would have gone with. And Hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is saying, رغم أنف ثم رغم أنف ثم رغم أنف. قيل ما يا رسول الله؟ قال من أدرك أبويه عندك الكبر أحدهما أو كلاهما فلم يدخل الجنة. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying, this is hadith which has many versions of this, and this hadith is mentioning that condemned be those, or those people be destroyed. We could have different translation on that. And then the companions asked whom you are talking about, and he said a person who got his parent in old age and he was not able to get the Jannah for himself. Condemned with those people. And when a companion asked Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam that who deserves the best of my attention, and he said, it is your mother. And he said, companion asked, after her, after whom should I take care? And he said, your mother. 3 times he said the mother. And the 4th time he said, your father. So it's again and again, that this Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is trying to tell us how important is to you take care of your parents. Please pay attention to the khutbah, not with your phone. Please do not play with your phone when you're in the khutbah. And then talk to your parents very nicely. Nice words. Choose your word carefully. Now we are living in an age where, respect is not there in the language itself. And in the school and colleges and places around us, we don't see any respect, and it is not being taught in the schools. So we have to show ourselves. And if any of you have parents alive, then you must make sure that you are able to get the Jannah through that. And if your parents have passed away, and you have said anything harsh to them, you are not ever going to forget that, because treating your parents harshly, and people do. Forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because this is extremely serious offense in Islam. Extremely serious. Because the forgiveness now lies with the parents who has passed away. What you can do, you can make the dua for them, seek forgiveness, do the charity in their name, do the hajj in their name, do the udhiyah, do the sacrifice in their name. And treat their relative, whatever the relative friends they have. This is all hadith. So this is the culture, this is the Islamic culture which we want to go to spread in this country, not the culture which we see around us, and we absorb that culture to become like those people who have no respect for the parents. You only see them on Thanksgiving, which is coming up now, or you talk to them on the Christmas. What do people say? I have not seen him for 10 years. I have not spoken to him for 5 years. This is what I see in my office. And this is what the Muslims are going to. They are becoming like that. Because the materialistic world and all these things, all the temptations, we are so much into it that we don't try to learn anything. وقولي قولي هذا واستغفر لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين والمسلمات. Alhamdulillah. So my khutbah is just for the parents, the respect and the love for the parents. In the ayah continues, the ayah number 24, وَاخْفِضْ لَهُمَا جَنَاحَ الذُّلِّ مِنَ الرَّحْمَةِ وَقُلْ رَبِّ ارْحَمْهُمَا كَمَا رَبَّيَانِي صَغِيرًا, and lower to them your wing. Meaning that the way, that you see the bird, keep the children or anything, cat with the kittens in that sense, this is how you treat them now, because that's how you grew up. And what you say, وَقُلْ رَبِّ ارْحَمْهُمَا كَمَا رَبَّيَانِي صَغِيرًا, and pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive my parents as they forgive me when I was making mistakes. Because you cannot have mercy if you're not merciful to others. How you can expect mercy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala if you're not merciful to the people around you? It's not a one-way thing. It has to be the both ways. You want Allah's mercy, then you should be merciful to others as well. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد عبدك ورسولك وسر المؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب ربنا وآتنا ما وعدتنا على رسلك ولا تخزنا يوم القيامة إنك لا تخلف الميعاد عباد الله رحمكم الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون فاذكروني أذكركم واشكروا لي ولا تكفرون.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
Please keep the lines straight. Allahu Akbar. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. يا أيها الذين آمنوا هل أدلكم على تجارة تنجيكم من عذاب أليم تؤمنون بالله ورسوله وتجاهدون في سبيل الله بأموالكم وأنفسكم ذلكم خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون يغفر لكم ويدخلكم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار ومساكن طيبة في جنات عدن ذلك الفوز العظيم وأخرى تحبونها نصر من الله وفتح قريب وبشر المؤمنين. الله أكبر. سمع الله من حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفر إنه كان توابا. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Inshallah, quickly, we'll take a few minutes. May Allah Ta'ala first reward our Imam. And mashallah, came in a, sometimes it's very difficult to come up, when you are going through some traffic. Inshallah, Allah Ta'ala give him the reward and then give him the reward for the things he said. Just before Jummah, mother passed away and asked us to give him enough funds so that he can go to his mother's funeral. If you want to give something, give it to me, or I'll tell you how to give it to him. Inshallah, Jazakallah khair. And then as Islamic month is progressing, Susanna is still in one of the local riyadh. May God for all of you who came, and especially the one who came because it's a day for holiday for many people. You'll be able to see them, inshallah. And our one brother, mashallah, I saw him after 2 years. Allah Ta'ala reward for his azan. We all know that. Jazakallah khair.